Well, hello and welcome to another Pokemon challenge. Last time we attempted a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Emerald using only water types. It was a fun run. It took a while. We found a Feebas, we found a shiny, all kinds of neat things in that run. If you didn't check it out, it's the last video. Today, however, I want to go back to some old challenges and try to beat Pokemon Platinum using only one Smeargle. This is going to be quite the challenge. I have beaten Fire Red, Emerald, and Soul Silver with only a Smeargle. If you don't know about Smeargle, it was introduced in Generation 2 and it is a gimmick Pokemon. Again, one of my favorites to use in these runs. I've used Smeargle in Fire Red, Emerald, and in Soul Silver. The gimmick it has is it learns Sketch. Now, Sketch is a move that can learn, or sketch rather, any other move in the game. There are some caveats to that in later generations, but we don't have to worry about it here. We learn Sketch at level 1, level 11, level 21, so on and so forth. Every 10 levels it learns a sketch, so we have 10 sketches that we can use. I gotta keep in mind through this run that we cannot learn Sketch twice. I learned that, or found out the hard way in one of my previous runs with it, where I was trying to save a sketch for a specific move. So not only do we have to think about the early game and what moves we want to try to advance the game with, we've got to think about late game moves as well, and how we're going to beat the Elite Four and Cynthia, if it's possible. Smeargle does not hit very hard, it is fast, and there are some changes to Generation 4 that are going to make this thing pretty fun to work with. Our Smeargle here has a hardy neutral nature. I was trying to reset to get a special attack nature. We're going to run a special attack Smeargle in this run. One of the changes in Generation 4 comes with the ability. In Gen 3, Smeargle only had own tempo. We get the ability Technician here, which gives a 150% boost to moves that have a base power of 60 or less. Super nice. There are a couple other things that we're looking into. We can get to Volbeat that potentially has Tail Glow, and we can have some special attack boosts. With Tail Glow and the move I have in mind, I think we're going to be able to do some serious damage throughout the playthrough. But I think we're also going to get tripped up as we go through this run. I did place the Smeargle in an IV calculator just to see what's going on because of so many resets. Our HP, special attack, defense, and speed have great IVs, so that's really good. We're going to do some EV investment into special attack, which we've done in the past, making this Smeargle just a little bit stronger. Now I am going to instill some rules to this run. The first one is that we can only use Smeargle here. We nicknamed it Picasso. It's misspelled, I know. That was from my very first run, and I'm just going to go with it. We can use HM Pokemon outside of battle, but Smeargle is going to be the primary through the entirety of the game. We're not going to use any exploits or glitches. No items in battle, but we can use held items. Very short list of rules, but I want to try these rules. This isn't a Magikarp run. This isn't a Metapod run. We're going to try to beat this thing with just Smeargle. Now, with the way my rules are set up, I still can use Pokeballs. So I throw a Pokeball at this trainer Pokemon here who has a level 5 Starly to get it to use a move so that we can learn a move, which is Quick Attack. We're going to learn it. It's a 40 base power physical attack. We're going to be a special attacker, so this is only going to help us for so long. But because of Smeargle's high speed stat, we've got to do some cheese to get a move. Our first battle with Barry, we lost because we used up our sketch and then we just struggled. We lost this fight as well, but we weren't really looking to win it. We were looking to get a move. I can use Pokeballs inside of battle to catch other Pokemon, so I'm kind of stretching the rules for this first move, but that's how we had to do it. North of Jubilife City, we can actually run into Bidooz, which is pretty nice because that's going to give us some special attack EVs and a potential move to fight Rorik, the first gym leader. Leaving Jubilife City, heading to Orberg, we have a rival battle. This battle is normally pretty easy. We take Starly out with a couple of quick attacks and Chimchar comes out. We also take it out with a few Quick attacks, we never actually get hit in this battle. Barry is going to prove to be a worthy opponent later on in the game. I gave him Chimchar because it evolves into a fighting type, but I don't see us having a huge issue going forward. Gym Leader Rourke time. His Geodude and Onix are both quad weak to grass and water, so even a weak move like Absorb will one-shot both of them. Cranidos, however, is not rock ground type, it is only rock type, so grass is super effective. We hit an Absorb and it doesn't quite take it to half, so I go for quick attack, trying to put it into a range where we can kill it without it healing. We hit a second Absorb and it does in fact faint, making this a very arbitrary battle. If you have a water or grass move, this gym leader is typically easy. Our next battle against Commander Mars, however, is not easy. We had to level up all the way to level 30 before we even stood a chance. The problem is we're running a move like Quick Attack where our attack stat is not very high, and we invested so much time and effort into EV training our special attack that we need to get a special attack move soon. I did sketch Toxic off of this Zubat in one of the attempts. Thought maybe that'll help, but to be honest with you, I just wasted a sketch. We do take her out this go around, but it did take many attempts. Gardenia, however, is proving to be very, very difficult. I have spent so many times battling this gym leader here and not even get to Rose Raid. I am level 40 at this point. We still have our moves, Quick Attack, Absorb, and Toxic, and we have a sketch. The problem that we're running into is Quick Attack is 40 base power, we have an attack stat of 24, instead of our 55 special attack, we need a special attack move. Absorb's not going to do anything against Turtwig, Cherrim, or Rose Raid, and Toxic will not affect Rose Raid on the back. As a matter of fact, I've battled her 12 times, and I've never made it past Cherrim because it keeps hitting Leech Seed. So what are we to do? We could go sketch another move, but again, we only have 10 moves, and this is the problem that we run into, is we can't just get a new move and get our way out of this gym because we're going to potentially run into problems going forward. So what do? I could keep throwing myself at Gardenia until we beat her. There is potential that Cherrim doesn't use Leech Seed, I don't know. We could go back to a route before Eterna Forest. I did leave a trainer back there that has a Ponyta, and we could sketch Ember off of that. I don't know if we want to do that again. We only have so many movesets, and we can actually go back to the Valley Windworks and sketch Water Pulse off of Shellos. So I don't know. We can go back here to Route 205. There are some different potential things that we can do, but eventually we're not going to be able to sketch our way out of it. So before I get a new move, I just wanted to show the battle with Gardenia here. Normally we go for a quick attack and Turtwig sets up a reflect. This is the first time I've seen a critical hit quick attack. Almost took it out, but it is the typical back and forth. After she heals, it sets up reflect, we set up toxic. It hits us with grass knots, it sets up the sunny day for the incoming Cherrim, and eventually we take it out just as the reflect wears out. Cherrim normally likes to set up Leech Seed, and that's what normally takes us out. I've never made it to Rose Raid, but this time it goes for grass knot and safeguard, and we actually make it to Rose Raid. Of course, we're going to beat this, aren't we? We take Rose Raid very low. She heals with a super potion. We're at 12 HP, and I figure the battle's over. She did try to hit a couple of stun spores, but a cherry berry stalled her out. After the super potion, we hit 2 quick attacks to actually take her out. I cannot believe we took her out this time. I have thrown myself at this battle so many times. I guess we'll get Ember later if we need it. For now, let's move on. Commander Jupiter goes as bad as Gardenia. We do take out Zubat with 2 quick attacks. Skunk Take comes out, and normally we die to this thing. It's going for accuracy lowering moves as well as trying to poison us with poison gas. So even through the accuracy drops, a few quick attacks do take it out. After defeating Jupiter, we can get our bike, which accesses the north part of Route 206, where we can come to Wayward Cave. We can find Sandshrew in here and sketch Swift. You do have to have a copy of Leaf Green plugged in to your DS, But Swift is the move that we wanted to learn. It is a 60 base power special move. We're going to use this till the end of the game. It's going to help us out a lot compared to Quick Attack. Now, I did switch around. Oh, I have Poke Rust. That's crazy. I didn't even notice that. I did go back after I beat Gardenia and redo my moves because I did have Feint Attack. We want Swift. Feint Attack was just a desperate situation. Eventually, we're going to get rid of Toxic and Quick Attack and probably Absorb. The upcoming gym is a Ghost-type gym with Fantina, and we're going to have another issue where we can't hit it with our normal Swift. So what do? Well, I came back to Eterna Forest here, and I'm going to actually sketch Foresight off of Baniri. I did look up Ghost moves, and I did look up Dark-type moves. There's no good special-type Dark moves, and Ghost moves, the chances of us actually getting one of those is going to be very slim because Ghosts aren't going to use those moves against a normal type. But Foresight enables us to hit the Ghost type with any move. Normal, fighting, it's super nice. And this is going to be a neat way to beat the gym. And also at the end of the game, Cynthia has a Spirit Tomb that I'm not going to be able to hit, so Foresight is a endgame move. The third gym leader Fantina's battle goes surprisingly easy. We do have to hit Foresight on each Pokemon, so that gives them a chance to attack. Duskull goes for Will-O-Wisp, and Haunter goes for Hypnosis. I lost the previous two fights because of the combination there. Duskull burned us on one, and Haunter actually put us to sleep on one, but this time they miss, so we get a Foresight and a single Swift to KO them. Miss Magius is a little more bulky. We do reach her with full health, and two Swifts take her out. Leaving Hardhome, we run into Barry here for another battle. We take out all of his Pokemon with Swifts. I didn't even come to this thing fully healed. His Monferno does have Mach Punch, and it does some serious damage to us. And thinking ahead to the next gym leader, Maylene, who's a fighting type, we may actually have to sketch the Ember for her Lucario. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Barry wasn't that hard. Eventually his Staraptor, his Heracross, and his Monferno are all going to have moves like Close Combat, so this fight will get dangerous. Next up is Maylene. This battle is our second attempt. I did go back and learn Ember because Lucario would have been a 3-shot, Machoke was a 2-shot, and so we did not have enough health. Lucario took us out very fast. This go around, however, after the fake out, Meditite and Machoke are 1-shots with Swift. Lucario comes out, we hit an Ember which takes it low. We get the burn too, which is perfect. Drain Punch doesn't do a lot of damage to us now because of the burn, and we're able to take it out with the next Ember. This fight was not too bad. There is a Steel-type gym and a Lucario with the champion, so I think Ember might stick around for at least a little while, maybe till the end of the game. I don't know that we can get anything better. Battling Barry outside of Crasher Wake's gym goes pretty easy. We one-shot all of his Pokemon with Swift. We still have a significant level lead, and when he sends out Monferno, it actually doesn't go for priority Mach Punch, so this battle was easy. I do anticipate these battles getting harder. I keep saying that, but so far they've proven to be relatively easy. We are going to need to continue to keep this high lead though. You know, we're almost 20 levels higher than most other trainers. Otherwise, I think things are going to go quite different. Next up is Crasher Wake here, Water-type gym leader. Gyarados hits us with an Intimidate, which doesn't matter. We hit a Swift, taking over half of its health. It hits us with a nasty, nasty Waterfall. We came into this battle without going to heal. However, we do take the Gyarados down with the next Swift. Out comes Floatzel, and we one-shot it with Swift. And last is Quagsire. It doesn't quite go down to a Swift, hitting us with a Mud Shot and getting the speed drop. Crasher heals with a Hyper Potion, and despite the speed drop, we're still faster, so we take it out with 2 Swifts. I had enough HP to tank another Mud Shot if it was faster than us, but I wasn't really worried about this battle. After Crasher Wake, there's quite a bit of storyline progression with Team Galactic. Here we are in Celestic Town learning about the Lake Trio, and then we officially meet Cyrus for the first time, even though this isn't our first time meeting him. We have to battle him. There's so much stuff going forward with Team Galactic. I'm not going to show everything, But it does end with us beating Cyrus in the distortion world, hopefully. This is our first official battle with Cyrus here. I thought this was going to go pretty easy. He leads with Smeargle, and our Swift is not enough to take it out. Hits us with a pretty nasty Ice Punch. After some healing, we do take it out. Next is Golbat, the same thing. We don't quite take it out, so we're low 17 health going into Murkrow. Luckily, Murkrow is a one-shot, so we do beat him. We might have to do just a little bit of grinding to get that edge back that we had. One other thing that we can do to gain the edge is sketch Nasty Plot off of Wild Pichus in the Trophy Garden. I originally was talking about Tail Glow, and there are two problems with getting Tail Glow that I didn't realize. The first is we can't get it until after the Elite Four. That's not something I knew. And the other is Tail Glow doesn't do what I thought it did. I thought that it gained us +3 to our special attack every time we used it, but the truth is it only gives us +2 in Generations 3 and 4. It was changed in Gen 5 to give +3 to special attack, so it really does us no good. Now typically I don't do a lot of damage calculations and things in these runs, but I do however do a lot of research, especially for a run like this where we need to know what moves, when and where we can get them. I think we've got a pretty good moveset now with Swift, Nasty Plot, Ember, and Foresight. This should take us to the end, I hope. We do have some sketches coming up if we need more, but I'm hoping we don't. With all of this, we should be able to beat Barry now in Canalave City. He's actually become quite a problem with his Heracross. I've tried a few times, and I was doing some grinding and looking up where we can get moves like Nasty Plot. So let's head back to Canalave City and see if we can beat Barry. Barry does become quite the rival later on when his Staraptor knows Close Combat and his Floatzel knows Brick Break. Right now the issue is Brick Break from Heracross because we can't one-shot it, and then Infernape coming out with a priority Mach Punch and taking us out. So we set up a couple of Nasty Plots now that we know that with his Staraptor. It's using Double Team and we know Swift, so we're going to take it out with one shot. We're going to take out Heracross with one shot. Infernape comes out and doesn't use Mach Punch, so we take it out with one shot. Floatzel is a one shot, and Roserade at the end is a one shot. Barry became a roadblock, and because of Nasty Plot, was very quickly taken out. Next is Byron, who leads with Magneton. We go for a Nasty Plot, and it hits us with a nasty Thunderbolt. So we take it out with an Ember. Steelix is a one-shot with an Ember. I knew it would be from all the Steelix we fought in the gym. And Bastiodon actually only takes neutral damage from Ember. So one Ember does about a third. The second one puts it in a Berry healing range, so I know we're not going to take it out with a third. We can take a second Stone Edge, so we go for one more Nasty Plot, and we take out the Bastiodon. This wasn't too hard of a fight. This was a first try victory, which is really nice. We could have just done a little bit more training if we really needed to beat this gym, and we were struggling. I said I wouldn't show off too much of the Team Galactic shenanigans, but this scene is pretty awful, all these Magikarps sitting here. We need to help them, and fast. It was a long road getting to Snowpoint City to get ready for Candace, but we have two different opportunities here. We could use Ember that's super effective against her ice types, but doing the math, even with a Charcoal, it's only going to be a base 132 power move, whereas Swift is a base 148 move unless the Silk Scarf gives a 20% boost. I have conflicting information. If it gives a 20% boost, this is a base 162 power move. So it's still better than Ember. I don't know what we want to use. Swift also doesn't miss, but her Frostlass is Ghost type, so I'm going to think about what exactly we want to do here and give it a shot. Candace time. She leads with Sneasel, and I go ahead and set up 3 Nasty Plots because Swift won't take it out, and then Foresight gives her Frostlass too many opportunities to take us down. This is like the 5th attempt here. So I want to see what Ember actually does. We've tried Swift 4 times and we couldn't win. We take out her Sneasel in one shot. Out comes Abomasnow, who sets up the Hail. Now we're on a clock. We take it out with an Ember. It is 4 times weak to Ember, and Frostlass comes out. Hitting this thing with the Swift is great because its evasion's up in the Hail. We break through all of that and do land a Ember to take it out. I did not have to worry about getting hit with Blizzard. It has 100% accuracy Blizzard in the Hail. Piloswine is its last Pokemon, and we take it out with a single Ember. Pretty easy fight once we swapped moves. Even though Swift is more base damage, Ember is what pulled us through this battle. Finally, after defeating Candace and doing the rest of the Lake Trio stuff, we come to Veilstone, to the Galactic Hideout, where we have to listen to this speech from Cyrus. He wants to change the world, recreate it in what he wants. You gotta have goals. I'm just saying, I want to beat the game with a Smeargle. I just want to become champion. I think his goals might be easier: to enslave the Lake Trio, create the Red Chain, enslave Palkia and Dialga so he has time and space under his control, and reshape reality. Might be easier than beating Pokemon Platinum with one Smeargle. You guys will have to let me know what you think is actually easier. The craziest thing about all of this is all these people agree, they do his bidding, and we go forth and we conquer. The craziest thing is right here. Cyrus, the boss of Team Galactic, mesmerizing for somebody who's only 27 years old. He's 27. He looks 127. Of course, I'm not great at guessing ages anyway. Wow. The Cyrus fight in the HQ is not too bad. Sneasel doesn't get taken out with a Swift and does heal. We should have used a nasty plot during the heal turn, and it would have been an easier fight. Crobat is a one-shot, and Honchkrow could take us out because we are low on health, but we get a critical hit, so it's no big deal. That was a first try victory. Had I needed a second try this, we would have just used one nasty plot. Double battle time with Barry against Mars and Jupiter. The Bronzor typically aren't that difficult, but they do set up Reflect and Light Screen. We're setting up nasty plots. They hit us with a Confuse Ray, and that is the only damage we take is off the confusion damage 3 times in a row, but they keep targeting Munchlax with the extra sensory, so by the time we snap out of confusion, we one-shot them both with Swift. Out comes Perugly and Skunktank. We one-shot both of them with one Swift, and last but not least is 2 Golbats, and we one-shot them. Very, very easy battle. Wasn't even worried about it. I wanted to show off the cinematics here atop of the mountain. We got the Red Chain going off and the summoning of Dialga and Palkia. We've got the Lake Trio coming in and saving. We have Giratina coming and opening a portal to the Distortion World. This was all cool stuff on the DS way back when, and I think it's still awesome nowadays. Thinking about the advancements in technology from playing the OG Red and Blue games all the way up till what it is now, even on a handheld with the Switch, it's just amazing how far it's all come. These were great games. I love playing them. Gen 4 is not my favorite generation. I do like the remakes of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but I know these games. I've played them a few times. This is about my 5th playthrough of Platinum. Super, super cool. I wanted to show this off. Let's get into the Distortion World and fight Cyrus. Distortion World, a Cyrus fight, goes pretty good. This is about our 4th attempt because if Houndoom gets off the Will-O-Wisp and we get burned, fight's over. But it misses this time. We hit it with the Swift to one-shot it, and then every single Pokemon after that we one-shot. I was unsure if we were going to one-shot the Gyarados, but it goes down. Weavile goes down, Crobat goes down, Honchkrow goes down. Super nice off of one nasty plot. Now normally I wouldn't show something like this, but I wanted to see what we could do against a literal legendary in Giratina. Giratina is one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 4, despite it not being my favorite generation. I love the changes and things that were added to Gen 4, the physical special split, stuff like that. But Giratina is just an awesome Pokemon, and we're going to take a puppy and try to fight it. So we lead off with a Foresight because of course we have to. It's a Ghost Dragon type. We hit a Swift and it doesn't quite do half damage. But it's going for Ominous Wind, so since it's a wild Pokemon, we'll just set up a nasty plot and we should be able to take it out. It goes for another Ominous Wind and our next Swift does in fact take it out. Bye-bye, Giratina. This is another one of those battles that we need a berry for. I didn't have a Ross berry for the Cyrus fight, but we have a cherry berry for this because Jolteon is going to use Thunder Wave. We set up a nasty plot and then proceed to one-shot everything. Jolteon's a one-shot, Raichu's a one-shot, Electivire's a one-shot, and Luxray is a one-shot. Easy 8th gem. First try victory. This is the berry battle before the Elite Four that I was worried about. We do try to set up a nasty plot and Staraptor goes for close combat. It takes over half of our health, so we hit a Swift and we actually one-shot the Staraptor. Heracross comes out, and this is my first battle, so we're just going to see what happens. We might have to go get the Shell Bell, but we take Heracross out with one shot. Infernape comes out next. We actually one-shot it. I can't believe it. And at this point, I think the battle's done. We've won. But I forgot he's got a Snorlax after Floatzel. Surprisingly, we one-shot the Snorlax. Last is Roserade. We won this battle. I was worried about this thing from the very beginning. Normal type runs can end here. I forgot to show off the stats for our Smeargle, but nothing's really changed level-wise. We just went for it at level 83. We set up one Nasty Plot, and we one-shot sweep every single one of his Pokemon with Swift, except for Sizer. I do go ahead and use Ember against it because it's 4 times weak to it. Aaron was never going to be an issue. Bertha, on the other hand, is going to be a problem. This is our 3rd attempt at this battle, and we do have to set up all 3 Nasty Plots, or we cannot one-shot the Golem or the Rhyperior in the back. Between the Sandstorm and the couple of Earth Powers, we're on low health, but we do one-shot Whiscash. We one-shot the Gliscor when it comes out. We one-shot the Hippowdon. We're at very low health. We one-shot the Golem. We're at 1 health. We one-shot Rhyperior. That was the Pokemon I thought for sure we would not beat. I cannot believe we just skated by Bertha like that. Whew, we almost need to go get the Shell Bell. I'm going to attempt this Elite Four, but if we keep losing or keep getting this close, we're going to go get some kind of healing item. Flint is up next, and this battle goes relatively easy. Houndoom sets up the sun as we set up a Nasty Plot. We take it out with a Swift. Next is Infernape. We take it out with a Swift. Rapidash comes out. We take it out with a Swift. Flareon comes out, and we take it down with 1 Swift. And last but not least is Magmortar, who we don't take down with 1 Swift, but after a 2nd Swift, easy battle. The battle with Lucian is just like Bertha. Mr. Mime goes for Reflect first turn and then Light Screen, so we get 1 Nasty Plot and we can take it out. Up next is Gallade. We don't take it out with a Swift. We need 2 Nasty Plots to do that, but we can't get them up. It does hit us with a nasty Drain Punch, and I don't think we're going to be able to KO it, but we just KO it. I think that's because we were able to level up 1 more time with a rare candy that we had saved. Up next is Alakazam, who we one-shot with Swift. We one-shot Espeon with Swift, and when Bronzong comes out, we don't quite KO it with Swift, but it just goes for Calm Mind, so we do manage to KO it. On to the champion. Last is one of the hardest champions in the Pokemon franchise, who leads with Spiritomb, and we lead with Picasso. So our first step is to set up a Nasty Plot, and it hits us with a pretty nasty Dark Pulse, which I believe we're only going to be able to survive 1 more. So we go for Foresight, it goes for a Dark Pulse, and we get the Swift KO. Out comes Lucario. We hit it with an Ember, which doesn't quite take it out, but it gets a Stone Edge miss. If it had hit us with a Stone Edge, we'd be dead. We set up another Nasty Plot because I know Cynthia's going to go for a full restore. We hit an Ember for a KO. Out comes Togekiss. We one-shot it with Swift. Out comes Garchomp. We one-shot it with a Swift. Out comes Melodic, and we one-shot it with a Swift. It was a critical hit, but I don't think that matters. And last but not least is Roserade, who we know we can one-shot with a Swift, winning us the run. That was an incredible run. I had so much fun doing this one. We did a lot of grinding at the very beginning and didn't have to grind too much. The levels progressed as they needed to. We had to do a little bit more research, and we finally got some good moves, and I learned a lot during this run. I cannot wait to do another Smeargle run. We will eventually do a Gen 5 run, but it's going to be a while. This Pokemon does take the energy out of you running it through. If we couldn't have beat the Elite Four, we did have some contingencies where we could have maybe got the Shell Bell or some leftovers. We definitely could have leveled up a lot more. We ended this at level 87. We could have taken ourselves all the way to level 100, and we would have definitely won no matter what. Again, I'm really happy with this run. This is the 4th time we've run a Smeargle through. We've been very successful so far. I think running a team of Smeargles would actually be a lot harder than a single one. It's a lot of fun trying to find setup moves and the type of moves that you want to get you to the end of the game. We did end up not using 2 of our sketches, but hey, look at that. Picasso the 4th beats Pokemon Platinum, Up next, I think we're going to do a bug-type only Nuzlocke of Fire Red. Stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you know the routine. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.